on this computer. Hey everybody, it's Madame Pamita, and this is the live magic Q&A with me, Madame Pamita, and my special guest, Raymond Guzman, who's here with us today. You are the Spell Squad. You're in the room. You're in with us. Or if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Facebook. Oops, what happened? My thing got unpinned. There I am again. Hi, sorry about that. If you're watching this on some other format and you want to be in the live session, then you'll want to go to spellsquad.com, which will send you to my site, a place that you can sign in. Once you sign in, you'll get the code to come join us live. We're here every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Mountain time, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, all over the world at some other time, but I don't know where you guys are in the world. I'm just thinking about the people that are here in the States, because that's the vast majority of people that are at this time zone, I guess, that are awake right now. Anyway, all right. So if you just stumbled upon this, maybe you are on YouTube or someplace else, and you just stumbled and you wondered who I am. Who is this lady with the purple hair? I'm Madame Pamita. I'm the owner of Parlor of Wonders. You can find me online at parlorofwonders.com. That's my website. I have a metaphysical store where I sell candles and oils and herbs and sachet powders and all kinds of goodies, magical goodies. I also have a ton of information, free information up online showing you how to do magic. There's how-to guides, there's videos, there's all kinds of goodies, podcasts, there's video, like the videos like this, all kinds of things to show you all about that. Now, I don't have any events coming up. Usually this is the place where I announce events. I don't really have any events coming up, just doing private parties for Halloween. If you are in the Los Angeles area and you have a Halloween party coming up, I do have some of the days open that are leading up into Halloween. And if you have a party and you want me to come and do readings at your party, I would be most happy to. Now, let's talk about our special guest. Our special guest this week is the fabulous, I like to call him my ray of light, Ray Guzman. He's my ray of light. I kind of feel like I possess you. You're mine. You're my ray of light. Raymond's a third generation. He's a natural born psychic medium. He's an author of this fabulous book, which I own. I'm the proud owner of. Yes. He's also the author, which is the Starseed Footsteps. He's author of the Starseed Footsteps Oracle cards, which we're going to be talking about too. He discovered at a very early age that he had connection to the spirit realm, that he had connected, he was a medium, he could download information from his guides. And throughout his life, he's had many, many experiences that are paranormal experiences and working with spirits. He had a near-death experience. We're going to ask him about that. And that experience allowed him to see things from a different angle and to really use his gifts in a way that would be so helpful to all of us that have had sessions with him. I've had a session with him and it's amazing. He's amazing. He's clairvoyant, he's clairaudient, he's claircognizant, among all of his other spiritual gifts. And he uses these gifts to heal clients, to help others, and to give insightful messages. He is a clairvoyant who has dealt with international clients all over the world, celebrity clients. He's in magazines. He's everywhere. He has been recognized as one of the top 100 psychics in the top 100 psychics blogs. And to top it all off, he's an ordained minister. He's a witch and a certified life coach. What don't you do, I guess, is the question. Welcome. Welcome, Ray.
Thank you so much, Madame Pamita, for having me here. You are a blessing. I really adore you and your fan base and just everyone that's here. Thank you all guys for being here. I'm so excited. You're an inspiration to me as well. So thank you for being you and giving back to us. You covered basically everything that it is about me, about what I do. This has been quite a long journey of spiritual and paranormal experiences. Like you said, since childhood. And it kind of, when I got into my teens and going into early adulthood, it kind of went on mute. And I think that was from the social conditioning and me just not wanting to see spirits and not, be focused in that area. It wasn't until, like you said, about my near-death experience at 31. I was shopping and then I just was holding on and I felt my heart beat. I felt this elephant on my chest, and it just got heavier sensation. I felt sharp pains on my shoulder blades on each side, and I felt like I couldn't breathe, like I was gasping for air. And I thought at first it was a panic attack that I was having. And it turns out that it was actually a heart attack, because I felt my heart slow down to the last 2 beats, and then it just shut off completely. It stopped beating, and then maybe about a minute or two, I was seeing that tunnel that everybody sees, the white light, and then suddenly I was back in my body, and the heart started kicking back into rhythm. And then when it did that, I felt so tired, and almost like I had run a marathon. My mouth was dry, and I knew I'd had a heart attack. So I'd gone to the hospital. They did all kinds of tests, and they wanted to do a stress test, because it was baffling them what had caused the heart attack. It was like a minor heart attack, not a major one. And I told them from Spirit was talking to me at that time, and they were like, don't allow them to do the stress test. If you allow them to do the stress test, you're going to die. You're going to really cross on over into the spirit realm. So I walked out, and they wanted me to sign a disclosure that if anything happened, and I left the hospital, that basically I was, signing over my death. I was taking responsibility for that, which for me, it was a terrifying moment. But I got out of that, and I kept having chronic panic attacks. And I didn't know why for like 6 months after that. And finally, I contacted a healer, and she was the one that came and told me, you have a special mission. You can help people. And it wasn't until that point that I was like, okay, this makes sense, because every time I would go to the emergency room with a panic attack after that, they were like, you're fine. Like, there's no reason that you're having the panic attack. It's not anything medical. And so I kept thinking to myself, well, I'm not crazy. I know that there's something going on. And then all of my psychic gifts were heightened after the near-death experience. So my clairvoyance, my clairaudience, clairsentience, all of these abilities became heightened. And it was like I could no longer shut off spirit at all. And so then I just decided to go into a Facebook group one day, a psychic Facebook group, and start reading people. And from there, that's the whole story. That's like how I started taking off and getting validation left and right from people. And then I just started reading professionally shortly after that. And then my anxieties went away completely. And there is a correlation between anxieties or panic attacks and spiritual abilities. It's when we start rejecting or refusing, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not rejecting, but maybe just like pushing away the integral part of us that we all are spiritual. We all have a certain spiritual, ability. And I kept putting that off until I actually accepted it and surrendered. That's the word I'm looking for. Surrendered to a higher power, surrendered to, the divine. That was when it was a huge shift for me. And I knew this was actually what I was going to do. And not many people know, but I actually have another book that I wrote. It's called Angel Messages ×3. I don't sell those copies. I need to start selling them, but it's on Amazon. And basically it's an angel book full of poetry. And this was all poetry that I wrote during my near-death experience, like channeling a lot of prayers and just poems. So it's out there. And I'll be updating my website soon with that. And from there, like that, it's just been a very good experience being in the spiritual community. It's been a journey. I've been, like you said, on magazines. I've been published in Australia. That's It magazine. Then Attune magazine. That's an online publication. I've been awarded, the top 100 psychic bloggers in the world. So it's such an honor. I've had, met so many colleagues and so many healers and fellow witches, that it's just amazing to be in this journey. And I'm just so grateful for all of my blessings. I don't take one day for granted at all, because time is what we don't have.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, because I think we have, in one sense, we have all the time. We just don't have the time in this body all the time in this body, but then we'll come back again. You and I will find each other again. It's very interesting, because the thing that you talk about with like the near-death experience, I had a giant table thrown at my head, and I was out cold, and if I had gone up 1 inch, it would have crushed my skull, but instead it crushed my nose, but it made me pass out. And that from that point on, I had my gift. So it's like that near-death experience is what you might call the shamanic experience of going into the other world. But what that does is it allows you to traverse between the physical world and the spiritual world, which is why we can get those messages. So it doesn't, I don't encourage anyone to go out and have a near-death experience.
No.
But people do invite shamanic experiences, which are like that teetering between life and death. Very much like the Odin story and so on, to gain that wisdom, to gain that knowledge, and to gain that connection to the other world. So whether you invite it through a shamanic quest, or that you have a near-death experience and it opens you up, that is definitely a story that has been told before, about that moment opening you up to that, being able to traverse between the two worlds. One of the things that we've got some questions. I want to get to the questions really, really quickly because we got a lot of questions. But I want to talk a little bit about your amazing book before we get to the questions, and your amazing deck. Amazing deck, amazing book. Loving this book. And I'm actually, there's a kind of they are called Starseed Footsteps and they are connected. But I see a big theme between the two of these.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Can I say it? And can you tell me if I'm right?
Say it. I don't mind.
What I see with both the book and the cards is that they're really affirming. They're extremely affirming for if you are a person who is like, I feel something's off. Yeah. I don't feel like I fit in, or I don't know what to do with this information that I'm getting, or I feel like there's there's some kind of disconnect, and these things will affirm and tell you that you're not crazy.
Thank you for saying that. You are so spot on, Madame Pamita. It's like we're in sync. And that's what I get from the major clientele base that I have. The major feedback from anyone who has bought the book or has been gifted the book by me. They tend to say that, they were in a place, like you said, that perhaps they didn't understand the things that were happening to them, like they were seeing angel numbers or synchronicities, and they don't know why they were seeing that. And then they have an aha moment when they read the book. And that's why I wrote Starseed Footsteps. I wrote it in the context of that. I wanted to provide like a manual. Like, I know that in the spiritual community, or in the spiritual world, there really isn't a way to teach like every single thing that you know or that you learn. Like, we have tools that we can use, but I wanted to provide something for someone that may be going through what I went through when I was going through my my near death and the spiritual awakening. I feel like that was like a spiritual awakening for me, a different spiritual awakening. And I was kind of clueless. Like, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know about that much about psychics or, spirit and magic. And I was like, who do I turn to? And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for answers now. If they're going through a spiritual awakening or they're learning more about themselves in their spiritual journey, my book can kind of tailor to that. It's about 40 something chapters in the book, 41, I believe, maybe 44 chapters.
Let me look it up and I can tell you, because I've got it right in front of me. You don't number your chapters. Oh, man. I think it's about 44 chapters in the book as well. And in each chapter, I cover things like about twin flames, soulmates, what happens when we cross over, haunted objects, how to protect yourself, how to identify, if you are a witch. I think I have one chapter dedicated to that. And then I have something for everyone, basically a little bit of a sprinkle, like fairy dust for everybody. In the book itself. And the rainbow, for me, me being a unicorn, of course, but not just that, but for me, the rainbow is synonymous of unity. And regardless of what background you come from, whether you're a certain race, ethnicity, no matter what walks of life, the rainbow symbolizes unity. And I feel like this was part of what I actually designed the cover myself, but with the actual graphic artist. And I told him because I had a vision of how I wanted it to be. And I told him I wanted it to have, the name in rainbows colors. And then I wanted to have like the
the planets, you know, like kind of have a starseed comes from another plane of existence. And I wanted to have like the moon and then footsteps leading up to Earth. So it's very magical, and I'm so proud of this. Was one of the, it took me about 2 years to write this book. And it was just dedicating every day or every week, you know, a one chapter to one topic. It was almost like blogging, you know, and that's how I did it. It didn't take, I didn't do it like in a course of a month or 6 months. It was a 2-year project.
Well, it's just, I think it's such a lovely manual for people who are like, something's off, something's weird, I don't know what's going on, and they can take a look at this book. And the thing that I love about the cards is like, if you're not sure, they're very different than any other cards that I've ever seen. They're not a typical Oracle deck, you know? And I just dropped one, so oops, I dropped a bunch of them. But they really are very direct and very helpful. It can tell you, and I think it's like that, it's almost like having you probably there.
Yes.
An extension of you there to like say like, you know, there's some mourning going on here, or there's some forgiveness that needs to happen. It's a very direct sort of deck, and it's nothing like any other deck I've ever seen. Very specific, very helpful, and it's almost like having your guidance there with the person.
Yes.
I want to say one thing about you that I noticed, and then we're going to get to the questions.
Sure.
Because I only got a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions here. One of the things that the Spell Squad may not know about you is that you predicted that second bigger earthquake that happened in Los Angeles on the 4th of July, and then the 5th of July or whatever. It was like the next day we had that bigger earthquake. Everyone was like, oh, that was the big one, and then we're going to have some aftershocks. And you were the only one that was like, no, a bigger one is coming, and you predicted that. I think that is an amazing gift. I don't have that gift. You know, people will ask me this thing. I'm like, that's not my jam. I don't know how to do that thing. But you get these downloads that are about very, I would say, very more zeitgeist, more global kind of situations going on.
It's the precognizant. I think that's how what people would call it in the spiritual community. But I've been known to be like what people call a timeline reader, where I give insight. And I hate giving you know, predictions like that, you know, going on, because then a lot of people misconstrue. They think I'm a fortune teller and I'm telling people about their future. And that's not really what it is about. It's about, you know, my gift, how it works is that I can see future oriented things sometimes, only what spirit allows me to see. No one.
So it's not on demand. You're not a trained pony.
Exactly. It's no parlor. It's not like a trick that I pull out of a hat. It's not that. It's really a connection to spirit, and only if they are allowing me to see it, I can give that prediction. I do yearly predictions. I also predicted Australia's same-sex marriage becoming legalized. I predicted the actual marriage of Prince Harry to Meghan Markle. I don't want to get into politics, but I did predict President Trump becoming the president.
What? I had another psychic friend that said the same thing. That was like, Trump. This is before Trump was president, and I'm like, no way is that going to happen. No way. And she's like, nope, but he's not going to serve a full term. She says he's not going to solve. So that's what she said. This is in 2016 or right before, God, I don't know, whenever it was. But anyway, very interesting. Let's get to some questions. We've got some questions here, and I want to get to them because, oh my gosh, there's so much we could talk about, but we're going to answer questions, and I know you're going to have some good things.
The energy is great in the room.
Yes. I mean, the Spell Squad's amazing. You guys, I love you guys so much. And you always say the funnest things, the funniest things, the most insightful things, intelligent questions. So you're going to have a great time. So, all right. So Buchanan, who I know is the Love Witch. I don't know if you're the Love Witch in New York anymore, Love Witch New York anymore. You might have changed your Instagram handle, as you crazy kids do. But anyway, Buchanan's here and says, hello beauties, just started doing some rapid fire client work this week and was wondering if either of you have suggestions for quick ways to cleanse my space and move from person to person without taking up too much time. People that work on like phone lines, I've never worked on a phone line or those things. Really, you do have to do that kind of stuff when you're going phone to phone or client to client, I always leave a gap of 15 minutes, which allows me to sometimes extend it a little bit if we have something, you know, that we're talking about. I don't have to cut them off right away. They're late, or, you know, we can still go our full session. When you see clients, Ray, what do you do? Do you do something in between your clients?
Absolutely. I do all of my readings online. Primarily, I don't do in-person readings at this time. And it's basically due to my my work schedule. But what I do when I have like back-to-back email readings, I have to connect to their energy. I have a huge selenite wands that I have on my desk right by my computer and my keyboard. So anything that's connecting to me, it's going to kind of go through the selenite. What I do is after every session, I will pass the selenite through my chakras. It's a wand, and I would just go all the way down. And then I also sometimes will use sage. And my friend Pamela Williams, she created this smudge spray. It's a sage spray, and I'll just spray that all around my aura. So that kind of helps me. But like, I believe exactly like what you said. That's something that I do. I believe like in giving time in between readings, to give yourself time to kind of recollect yourself, your energy, you know, it helps.
Also, you got to pee once in a while.
Exactly.
You know?
Have some tea.
Exactly. You know, it's like I have to have that little space in between so I can get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or something like that.
Yes.
I would agree that those things are those are great. And your point about the spray is awesome. I mean, one of the things that I advocate and I do is I have a Van spray, which is just Van oil. Add some spring water in a little glass bottle, shake it up, and then spray it around you. So Van oil or lemongrass oil, if you're going to make your own, and spray that around, you know, just sort of like clear and cleanse. And that's a very fast way that you can kind of get that cleansing. It's almost like doing a cleansing bath. The same thing with smudging or putting the oil on. That's a way you can do that. So that's a great way. And the selenite wand, I love that. Selenite's so powerful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay. So Adam has a question. He says, recently I've been getting a lot of messages. They are numbers that show up on the clock whenever I look to see what time it is. In the past few weeks, I've seen 911, so 9/11, 11/11, 7/11, over and over again. I looked these up, but can you elaborate on the meanings of these by any chance? I'm sure you have something to say about numbers. You are a numerology person like me, Ray, I know.
Yes. Hi, Adam, and thank you so much for being here. Immediately, I do want to say these are angel numbers that you're getting. They are downloads. I feel like you're going through a spiritual awakening yourself, and so you're being shown these numbers for a reason. What I've written about this in Starseed Footsteps. When we start seeing synchronicities like 333, 1111, these numbers, and some people may not agree with this, but this is what I was told from Spirit, and I believe it, because I used to see 333 for like every day for about 2 years straight before my near-death experience. Basically, there's some changes, Adam, that you probably need to make in your life right now. Only you may know exactly where this is at. I feel like this is more centered around your finances. And so what Spirit does and your Ascended Masters, they work together in bringing you these numbers, which are synchronicities, over and over repeatedly, so that you can kind of see it, and you're like, well, what does it mean? They're basically saying, hi, I'm here. I'm here to validate that we're aware of your situation. We hear you. We are there to help you. But sometimes we have to make that push, or take that step, and remove the fear tied behind it. So I feel like for you, using my intuitive gifts, I feel like this is exactly why you're seeing those repetitive numbers. And once you make that change that you need to make, or you take that initiative step forward, kind of like blind faith, so to speak, those numbers are going to kind of start diminishing in the repetitiveness that you see them.
I always like to say that when we get like those repeating numbers, it is our guides tapping us on the shoulder and saying, pay attention, hello, we're here. And so, but oftentimes what is on your mind when that number pops up for you? Are you worried about something? Then your guides are telling you it's going to be okay. Are you visioning something for your future? Then the guides are saying we're here to help you. Yes. So I always look at, like, whenever I see those messages that are coming from the universe, I take a beat to say, oh, what was I just doing? Or what was I just thinking about in that moment? And then look at that and interpret that message. There's also another thing, which is the whole numerology aspect of it. If you're seeing repeating numbers, I like to get into the numerology of it. And each number, 2, 3, 4, 1, whatever, has an energy about it. So there can even be a very specific message that's coming in. And if you don't know what the numerology is or anything like that, I do have a really great resource, which is up on my website. If you go up to Parlor of Wonders and you go to instruction and you go to the magic blog, so my blog, there's an article I wrote that says, what does it mean when I see 1111? And in that article, I talk about each number and what the vibration of that number is, so that you can even get even more fine-tuned as to what message they're sending you. So it's a beautiful resource right there. It's free. Just go check it out. When we're done here, you can go check it out on my site and find out like what are those numbers that you're seeing. So if like you're seeing an 11 and a 7, that means something very different than the 3 and the 11, or the 2 and the 11, or the 9 and the 11. Those are, I would look at those things too. Very cool question. Someone else even said Galaxy S10, which is somebody's phone, said to everybody. I've been seeing these numbers too. So yes, this idea of these guys, it's not surprising to me that the Spell Squad would have a plethora of people that are getting messages from their guides, because birds of a feather flock together, kids. We're here together. We're in this together. So lovely. I love that. All right. I forgot to tell everybody what you reminded me when you were giving that special message to Adam, that we're going to try and squeeze in at the very end a little mini, maybe 3-minute reading with someone. So if you are interested in having Ray read you, just go ahead and type in, what word should they type in? Rainbow?
Yeah, rainbow.
Type in the word rainbow, and then I'm going to count them up, and I'm going to have Ray pick a number, and that number is going to be the person that gets the thing. So type in rainbow as your message, and you'll be in the running. And then what we'll do is we'll put you on audio, and then you and Ray can talk back and forth, which is always very helpful. Okay. And then Ray's also going to have some special offer for you guys at the end too. I forgot about that. See, I need to go to TV show host school, because I'm learning on the job, kids. On the job training. All right. Jazz has a question.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. If you have severe black magic on you, can they make the cards appear to say something else, as if you have demons attached to you? If so, how do you do it? How do you go about doing it where nothing can interfere? I'm guessing Jazz, I might need to talk to you about that question, because I'm kind of needing some clarification on that. Let me find you and turn you on your voice. Jazz, there you are. Hi.
Hi, Madame Pamita.
In your question, let me try and get some clarification. Are you asking if like the black magic can be cloaked so that somebody doing a reading for you, for example, wouldn't see it? Is that what you're asking?
No, it's kind of weird. I have a weird situation where I have this guy that continues to do black magic on me, and every time like I do a cleanse or I clear my space, I see like these black demons around. It's really awful. So when I'm doing the cards, I see them around, and I'm trying to clear my space so they can get away from me. So I have a devil's pod, and I put that out, and then I stage, but sometimes I still kind of see them around. So I'm like, God, what's going on? They're so attached to me. I'm trying to do things to get rid of them. It's kind of hard. Unless you went through it, you'll understand it.
Okay. Let's talk about what you can do. I'm going to turn off your mic, and then let's talk about what you can do. Ray, what do you do in a case where someone is dealing with some really heavy negativity?
When you're dealing with that, hun, I would suggest for you to, this is going to delve more into the hoodoo world of magic, and I hope it's okay to discuss this on the show.
Yes, of course. Okay, I'm going to just do one thing really quick. Okay. Somebody is making some tapping noise that's driving me cuckoo, so I'm going to mute everybody, and then I'm going to unmute you, Ray, okay? All right, let me mute everybody because somebody's tapping. All right, now let me get Ray back up again. Ray's quiet. Let me get you back up, baby. All right, there we go. All right, Ray, now you can talk.
All right, so what I suggest, I work heavily with the Psalms when I do magic as a witch to protect myself. I've been in your situation, Jazz, so I'm so sorry that you're going through that first and foremost. I would you're gonna need basic things. You're gonna need like a small square sheet of parchment paper. You're gonna need one of Madame Pamita's oils, quite possibly. I would say like The dragon's blood. Do you sell that, Madame Pamita, the dragon's blood oil?
No, I have well, we have dragon's blood oil, but it's not my oil.
Okay, get some dragon blood oil or whatever other oil you feel guided to that's for protection. What I typically do is I get that, and then also a black candle. A lot of people start thinking that black candles are evil, and they're not evil. They're used for banishing and binding. So what you'll need to do is to first cleanse yourself. Make sure that you take like a spiritual bath using maybe a Madame Pamita's salts. I think you do sell spiritual salts.
Yeah, and I have an energetic purification one that's amazing.
Yes. So before you get into any work, get one of her salts, take a bath with that first. Then what you're going to do on the parchment paper, if you know who is doing this work, what you can do is write their name on the four corners of this paper. Then you're going to take Psalm 2, and you're going to recite Psalm 2. And then after that, you're going to write in the center of the paper, banish all negativity, a wall of protection. And then you're just going to fold the paper, dab it with some, with your finger, index finger, with some dragon's blood oil. And then you're going to fold that parchment paper, put it underneath your 7-day or 14-day candle that's all black. Like Madame Pamita's candles, she sells them as well. I think she sells them. You can check out her website. But like that, the candles you see behind her, you're going to want to put that parchment paper underneath that and burn it for the 7 days. And then what this is going to do, it's going to send all the work and bind all the work. It's going to be like I want to say more if it's binding them using the Psalms. There is a book called Psalms. I can't remember how to use the book of Psalms for protection. And I will get with Madame Pamita to give the link. Or if you want to email me after the show, you can email me at raymondguzman@hotmail.com. And then after you do all this work, basically you're going to have a greater connection where you're not going to be seeing the shadows that you're seeing, the demons that you feel like are demon. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like they are demonic in nature. I feel like these are maybe like darker spirits that have been invoked. And some of them are shadow men. And this is a whole other thing that I don't want to get too much onto here because it'll get kind of confusing for some people that are listening. But you have a lot of other things going on. You're very spiritually gifted yourself. But what I feel is like you you may be allowing some of the fear to kind of taking away some of your own power, because you're very powerful. But I feel like you need to kind of not fear it, because fear feeds negative vibrations or any attacks that are being sent to us. Another thing that I suggest that you always have, and this may not be, may not be something that you want to do, is carry a Saint Benedictine medallion, because that's going to protect you from any dark magic that has been put on you. It looks like this. I actually carry this. I sleep with it. I have it 24/7 on me. I'll hold it up here. And it has the Saint Benedictine medallion. So that's what I suggest for you, Jazz.
I think that the other thing, I love all of that. I think that's an amazing, totally accurate, on point work. The other part I would add is protection. Protection. It's like, okay, everyone does cleansing and they don't follow up with protection. And if someone's throwing at you, it's like, yeah, if you step in the dog poop and then you track it all through the house, and then you clean up your house, and then you clean up your shoe, and then you go out and step up in the dog poop again, you're back to square one again. So the only other thing I would add to that is using protection. Do the cleanse and then follow it up immediately with protection. So my protection oil in particular is one of my absolutely favorite oils. It first of all, it just smells amazing. It smells like incense, and it's amazing. That part I'm crazy about. But what it does is even more amazing, which is it's like a cloak of invisibility.
Wow.
The cloak of invisibility is what you need, baby. That's what you need. If someone's attacking you and they can't find you, they can't attack you. Yes. So it's to like a cloak, like Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility. If they can't see you, they can't go for you. And exactly. That's what that oil does. So cleanses and then follow it up with protection. So powerful protection oils, my oil, but you can use other, protection oils, whatever. But my particular oil is about invisibility. And that's the level of protection that you get, that they can't throw for you. But if they can't see you, you aren't a target anymore. So either they're going to get distracted with something else in their life, which is awesome, or they're just not going to be able to find you energetically to do the work to throw for you. So good to know. All right. Let's look at another question. Oh, you got a little fan here. Adam says, I love your Oracle cards. I was wondering what other Oracle cards are your favorites. Do you have any other?
Oh my goodness. I'm a hoarder of Oracle cards. I have so many tarot and Oracle. I have to say I love, oh my God, that's a tough one, but I love like Colette Baron Reed. I love a lot of her decks. I can't give like a specific one offhand because I use so many. But I love like all of her decks. And John Holland, I love his decks as well. Like those are my two favorite to go to other than the Rider-Waite, which is where the Rider-Waite's tarot, but yes.
I love that. I have, you know what, I want to tell everybody about a couple of decks that I use specifically for past life work that I think are amazing. And I just taught a class in Brooklyn at Catland. I taught a class on how to access your past lives or do readings for other people about past lives. So not only be able to do it for yourself, but to do it for other people. And one of the methods that I taught, like several different methods, but one of the methods is to use a deck. And if you are deck oriented, like you and I are, we're deck hoarders, collectors. Oh my gosh, I got stacks of them. It's crazy. But there are two decks in particular that I recommend. One is it's called It's Your Karma cards. I sell these up on my site. And they're a round card that can be used alone to do past life readings. They're specifically for past life readings, and they will tell you the time period that you had this lifetime, what your role was in this life. Like, were you a royalty? Were you a merchant? Were you, who were you in this past life in terms of your status? And they'll tell you when you lived, what place you lived, and when you lived. So these cards are amazing. But there's a whole other element to past life readings, which is the personality. So you can have a person who's a royal and they're a great, loving, kind leader, and you can have someone who's a terrible, horrible leader, right? So the role doesn't tell us the personality. So for the personality, I use Carolyn Mace's archetype cards, and those cards are fantastic for telling you about who your personality was in that lifetime. And from those two decks, you can really get a sense of who you were and then go into that visioning of who you were. So if you want to do past life work, I highly, highly, highly recommend the It's Your Karma cards, Carolyn Mace's archetype cards. Both are available up on my site, but you can find them other places too. But those are the decks that I recommend for doing past life work. I'm super into sharing that information with people. And yes, that's not white Oracle decks, but they're one of my favorites. Carolyn Mace's deck is amazing. It's just amazing. All right. So Helen wants to know, what's something that I can do as a daily ritual to bring in a new job or career opportunities? What is a little thing that Helen could do?
I love that question. Hi, Helen, and thank you for being here. I would say affirmations are very positive. Also, I want to say creating a vision board of what prosperity is to you. Having that manifested in the actual physical and something tangible that you can see can kind of help facilitate your manifestation. So let's say you're wanting to move eventually into a new apartment or a new house. Start printing out pictures and putting them like on a little poster board and glue them. It's almost like going back to basics and having something that you can visualize in. I would have like a piece of pyrite and also like a little mock check. If it's prosperity that you're wanting, like a mock check, and then write the amount that you want in the mock check, and then kind of fold that, put it maybe behind your vision board or in front, it doesn't matter. And then have a piece of pyrite. That pyrite's known for like abundance. Citrine as well. Citrine is a very good crystal for, you're doing that. And then each day dedicate a specific amount of time every day, looking at that and visualizing it. I think a lot of people tend to fall in the trap that they want something so bad, but they don't see themselves there. See yourself already getting that prosperity and that abundance that you want every single day. Speak it. Don't doubt it. Don't Don't have any doubts. Don't think twice about it. And that's how you're going to start attracting a lot of this prosperity and abundance to yourself as well. There's also a prayer that I came across. It's an anonymous prayer. I didn't write it. It's an abundance prayer. But if you want that prayer, you can just hit me up on Instagram on my DM and I'll share it with you. Or you can email me, and I can also send it to Madame Pamita as well.
I'm writing your, I wrote your email down in the chat so people can find it there, but your psychic medium Ray on Instagram.
Oh, and a rose of Jericho. Keep a rose of Jericho in a bowl. It's like a little plant. It's like a desert plant, and it opens up when you put a little bit of water. I believe highly in the rose of Jericho. When I wasn't working with it, you know, financially, it was a little different, my situation. After I started working with the rose of Jericho, then I started recommending it to other clients because I started seeing what it was doing for me, and I really believe in it. And you can put like crystals on it, coins and money, and this plant is like good to have in your living space, in your living environment, and it just attracts and brings like money to you in many ways.
I have a video up that shows Rose of Jericho before and after. So you can see what it looks like before you put it in water and after. And I talk about putting coins in the water and then using that Rose of Jericho water, changing that water every day. But that water shouldn't be dumped out. You can water a plant with it. You can add it to your bath. There's a lot of magical things that you can do with that water. So don't dump the water, just dump it. You know, you can actually use it. Here's the other thing I would say, you know, with Helen's question about the job, you know, Ray has gotten into the prosperity aspect, which is such a huge part of any job situation. You want to have money, you want to have increased income and all of that stability and all of that benefits and all of those things. But we also want to think of the other aspects of the job that would be satisfying to you. So there's no point in having a job at a boring factory with a bunch of jerky coworkers and in a, you know, whatever. It's no fun, or it just isn't fulfilling to you, or you don't like it. So I would say on that vision board that Ray has recommended, let's add images of how you want the job to feel, or how, do you want to be in a place of leadership? Do you want to have nice coworkers? Find images like that too, and add that to the mix as well. And the other thing I would say too is that Ray's absolutely right. Like, keep your vision on, it's here now. If you're having problems holding that vision, some people are not vision people, you know, they don't see things. Say the words, say the affirmation. The job is mine. I have an amazing job. I love my amazing job. Say those words out loud. If you have a doubt, don't panic and go, oh, I've just ruined everything. The important thing is not that you never have a doubt, but that you don't stay in the doubt. Yes. That you don't stay in that. So I liken it to like saying, like, if you've got your horses and you're driving you've got a carriage and you're driving your horses, if you're trying to get to the market with your horses, if they go a veer a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, as long as you're controlling it and sending them that direction, you're fine. But if you just let the reins go and the horses go wherever they want, you're not going to end up at the market. So the same thing is true with the vision of what you're holding. As long as let's say 90% of the time you're like, yes, this job is mine, I'm going to have it. And then you have that, am I ever going to get it? Bring yourself back, just like you bring your horses back on the road in the direction you want them to go. That's all you have to do. So don't panic. You don't have to be perfect, but just keep the general vast majority of the thoughts being forward thinking. Because I think sometimes people go, I have to be perfect. And that perfectionism can also kill it too. You know, that's what it is. All right. We're going to take one more question, and then I'm going to have you pick a number. Let's see. Gia asked the question about strategy for getting clarity with entrepreneur career goals. I think that's kind of the same thing. She could do the same thing that we're talking about with the pyrite and doing those things. Buchanan mastermind group. Direct message me on Instagram and we'll talk about it. Okay. All right. So Galaxy S10 asks, recently I had episodes where right before my deep sleep, I heard voices giving me messages such as, you will soon find the truth. And I feel like my soul is traveling at a super fast speed. Hi, Ray. So somebody that knows you is asking this question, has a Galaxy S10 and they're answering. They're asking a question of you.
Hi, Galaxy S10. Very interesting because that's something that happens to me on the regular, not every day, but when I lay down at night, right before I'm going to sleep, I hear voices talking to me, or I'll see spirit standing there in a line ready to kind of get through. I definitely feel you are an astral traveler. If you feel, can you repeat the question, Madame Pamita? What were they wanting to know?
They're getting these messages from spirit. Now I got to find it again. Okay. Oh, I had episodes where right before my deep sleep, I heard voices giving me messages such as, "You will soon find out the truth." And I feel like my soul is traveling at a super fast speed. So what does that mean? Or what would you interpret that to be? Or how do I control it? I guess, we can have all kinds of questions about that.
Okay. I'm going to give them like a mini reading if that's okay. I know that we're going to do that. But what I feel is like you are astral traveling. Your clairaudience is opening up. But I also feel like you may be a clairsentient as well. You are going through some changes, I feel like, in your personal life. And that is what your spirit guides are communicating to you, that you are embarking on a change. And I feel like this has to do with your love life more specifically. And again, I feel like I'm not going to air all of that on here on the live out of respect, but that's what I feel like. It's more about you making some changing up some things in your life, like how you see love, or necessarily embrace it. If let's say you're looking for a partner, just to be more specific, and you found like your love life is stagnated right now. Basically, I feel like your spirit guides are asking you, like, or they're telling you that they are there, they're going to help you, but at the same time, what can you do? What can you change on, in your regular daily life to attract that partner of love that you are seeking? Mainly like taking action on things that you can do, that you can change, such as like maybe getting out of your comfort zone, maybe going out to a dating app and putting yourself on a dating app, maybe being more social, going out with your girlfriends or guy friends to have some drinks after work, kind of setting yourself, making eye contact with people, away from your phones. So, a lot of us spend so much time on our phones, on our devices, we don't even make eye contact. So that's what I kind of feel like what Spirit is telling me.
Love that message. That's amazing. I want to answer one question super quickly. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to have you pick a number and we're going to do a little mini reading. Lauren is asking, just a super quick, very pragmatic question. Maybe you'll have something to say about it, but I've been purchasing dress candles from a local Botanica. I get a great feeling from the store, but they purchase elsewhere. Should I be concerned with this? Some of the candles are burning pretty black, almost all the way down. Can this be the length of the wick, or these physical, spiritual obstacles or blocks? That's my wheelhouse, baby. I can tell you about this. Cheap candles, too much materials put on top of it will always create a black candle. So you have to be able to judge and assess, is the candle black because it is some spiritual blockage of some kind? Because that's what soot going down represents, spiritual blockages. And how far it goes down is how heavy the blocks are, how much you're going to have to work on it, right? If it's just a little bit at the top, it's like, okay, you got to work on something, but you're going to get over it quickly. If it goes all the way down, you got a road ahead of you. You got to dig out of the rubble, right? If you're finding, here's my opinion. I started making candles because I saw all the cheap garbage out there. So that's why I started making candles, because I wanted there to be good quality candles for myself to do magic for my clients, but also for my clients to do their magic for themselves. So that, and the fact that beeswax is non-toxic. It's not going to hurt your lungs. If you burn paraffin, if you burn a lot of paraffin and you don't have ventilation, I'm not saying one candle is going to, kill you. But if, like me, you're burning a lot of candles, the paraffin can create indoor pollution if you don't have a window open. Beeswax does not do that. So where are you getting your candles from? Are you seeing a consistent burn? Is it that they have a lot of oil, a lot of herbs, and all of that stuff on the top? Because all those adulterants can create smoke. So can fragrance. Fragrance can make soot if they add too much fragrance. So those lovely Yankee candles that you're burning, and all these candles that have a ton of fragrance, can also burn black because they put too much fragrance in it. So it's a kind of you have to assess and judge. And maybe what you want to do is, if I were in your shoes, I would say, let's say you're burning a candle for prosperity and it burns sooty all the way down. Get a different candle from a different manufacturer for the same thing and burn it and see if you get the same result. that's like a scientific thing. Then you'll know if it's, oh, definitely my prosperity is blocked with some negativity, or is it just a cheap candle or an adulterated candle with a lot of junk that's going to create smoke. So that's my answer. Anything you want to add to that, Ray?
No, I absolutely believe you're spot on. Get Madame Pamita's candles. They're the best. I'm not just saying it just because I'm a guest. I'm with her. I have bad allergies. And so, like she said, when I started burning like a lot of the Yankee or these cheap candles that have the perfume, like those dollar candles you can get at the store, I started coughing and like feeling, getting infections, sinus infections and throat infections from those oils and toxins. So I have an air purifier as well. I would say if you do have those candles, get Madame Pamita's candles, but if you can't, whatever, your budget is, whatever, have an air purifier, because that can kind of help. Like Madame Pamita said, a lot of people don't have ventilation.
Yeah.
That's a
and if
issue.
And paraffin is like, the more I research and the more I find out, like I was guided, like my guide said, use beeswax. Well, they like beeswax because it's sweet. It's got honey. It's got the energy, all that positive energy of the bees in it. It's just an amazing high level magical tool, but it's also good for your lungs. It's that and soy, but soy has its own issues because of pesticides and all of that. But beeswax is pure. Beeswax is the highest grade wax that you can get. And if you are burning more than one candle, or you have issues with asthma or some kind of lung emphysema or anything else, you really want to be very, very careful about that. And if you're not, even if you're healthy, I think you want to be conscious and aware. All right, Ray, we're going to do our little mini reading.
Okay.
And I want you to pick a number between 1 and 20.
1 and 20. I want to say I'm going to be picking, let me see, number 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Natalie, you're lucky 13. Let me get you up here, Natalie. I'm going to unmute you, Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Are you there? Hello? Uh-oh, Natalie's not here. Natalie, I've got you on microphone. Are you there? Natalie?
Maybe she has to hit the unmute
Step
button.
away. No, I unmuted her.
Oh, okay.
So she's, let's see, she's not there. Okay, well then, pick another number.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Terry Ann, you're number 7. Let me find you. Terry Ann, are you there? Let's see. Terry Ann, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, Terry Ann.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to put Ray up on the screen here. So Ray's going to do a little reading for you.
Okay.
Hi, Terry Ann.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Excited.
Yay. So what is your question, my dear? Do you have like a specific question that you want insight on?
I think I just want to go with whatever it is that you can pick up on.
Absolutely. For you, I'm going to, say just what spirit, I don't have a filter, so I'm just going to give you what I hear from spirit. I immediately sense a lot of pain. So I feel like they're bringing me something to your physical health may not been the best. And again, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose people, but I'm going to just tell you what I'm getting from spirit. And I feel like your physical self has not been the best over the last couple of years, but mainly in the last year or so. I'm picking up some issues there, but I'm also feeling like you've been through a lot of pain. I'm getting a lot of, maybe like you're at a crossroads right now, asking yourself where you're going, where's your, your next move in your life, what you should be doing. There's a lot of stagnation around you, a lot of doubts. Would you say that's pretty much what's happening?
Yes.
For you, I feel like it's about letting go. That's the message that I'm getting from spirit. Letting go of the pain, the things that people have done to you that has not been your fault. I pick up like this would have been family members, quite possibly. I am getting females. I am also getting that there may have been some relationships in the past, or a relationship in the past that have hurt you at the soul level. So for you, it's integral for your heart chakra in that area, in that space, to get some healing. I would say to work with malachite, work with an emerald or peridot. These are going to be good stones to wear like on a 30-inch link chain or a 26-inch link chain so that it can fall right directly above your heart chakra.
Okay.
I see that once you're able to do that and let go of whatever they're doing, I would say for you to write a letter to the people that have done this to you. You know who they are. Write a letter like if you were standing in front of them and tell them everything that you want to say to them if you had them in front of you, even if they have passed on already. Because I also pick up that there is some people that may have already crossed over that you may have not received closure from, specifically a male. So I don't know if this is like a father figure or a grandfather, but I'm getting that there's a lot of that you've held on to for quite some time, and you're needing like a release of this pain, because that's what's holding you back from kind of feeling happy. I don't feel like you're necessarily happy all the time, or you feel like, you know, things are gravitating towards the greater good in your finances, in your love life. And it all has to do with these things that have happened to you in this lifetime, and also some past life that you've had, some past lives that you've had that have had some very strong themes of hardships. So I feel like you would also benefit from getting maybe like a past life reading from Madame Pamita. I do past life readings as well. Whoever, you know, I feel like if you haven't had a past life reading, this is going to help you. And that's the spiritual insight that I get from Spirit.
Okay.
Was that helpful
Thank
to
you.
you, Terry-Ann?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really
Thanks.
sweet. That was such a lovely, you know, that's the one of the things I love about you, Ray, is that your work is so uplifting and helpful and really just, it's like, I think we're birds of a feather in the sense that we help people find their path, you know, like that's my mission in life. And I think that's your mission in life too, you know. You are going to, we're at 6 o'clock right now. So it's going to be that time that we wrap up, but you are having a special, something special for the people that are watching this, either here now or that are watching it afterwards on YouTube.
Absolutely. Everyone that is listening right now, all you have to do, I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to be giving you 33% off of any psychic reading in my shop. All you have to do is use promo code Spell Squad, just like Madame Pamita spells it, all one word, Spell Squad. And it's going to be valid until October 31st. And that'll take 33% off of any reading in my shop. As well, I would like to do a giveaway. And the giveaway, all you have to do to enter it is to go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net. And then once you're there, there's a pop-up to subscribe to my website. You will need to enter your info, like your first name and an email, a valid email address. And that's going to immediately get you, you know, into the giveaway. And then what I will do is I will choose one, because I get to see who subscribes between now and the end of the until the end of October 31st as well. And then on November 1st, I'll announce the winner.
So it's just for the people that signed up newly for your list, or
it will be for anyone that's new and anyone that's already subscribed as well.
Oh, okay, great. So your people that are already in there can also get in there. Wonderful. That's like such an amazing gift. He's going to be giving away free reading. That is a great contest. And it's not like it's going out to thousands of people on Instagram. Right. This is just going to be the people that sign up on your email list. That's amazing. And then you'll send out an email that tells everybody who the winner was. Fabulous. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much, Ray, for being here. You are literally a ray of light. Are you literally a ray of light?
Yes.
I think it's so sweet and so cute. You are a ray of light. You are just such a love, and I just adore you. You are so special to me.
I adore you, and thank you and all of your followers for being here today. It really meant a lot to me to be here and able to give insight and share the spiritual platform.
Oh my gosh. I just encourage you guys, you know, I bring on the best of the best, and I encourage you to follow Ray. He's just so lovely. You've got an Instagram, which is Psychic Medium Ray, right? Is that right? Yeah. And then you've got Psychic Medium Ray. You also have your website is psychicmediumray.com. No, it's Raymond Guzman, right?
RaymondGuzman.net.
RaymondGuzman.net. Anywhere else that they can find you, that you're active?
On YouTube at Psychic Medium Ray.
Okay, on YouTube at Psychic Medium Ray. So that's where I saw your fabulous prediction. And you know what? The earthquake prediction, I bought water because of you saying that. And not that we needed the water, but I have water in my house now because of that. So funny. Next week, next week we're going to be here. Next week is, my guest is going to be Michelle Williams. She's the Freedom Fairy. She's a holistic health mentor. We're going to be talking about how to reclaim your freedom, create a life of magic, and also talk about health and issues of health and related to that. Like those two are not separate. It's not like your body and your spirit. Those two go together, and we're going to talk about that. So I hope you guys join me next week. Check out Ray. Follow him too. He's lovely. He does awesome things, so like live things on Instagram too. So you'll have lots of fun with him. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. You are an amazing spell squad. You know I love you so much. And we'll see you next week. Bye, Ray. We'll see you later. Bye.